let's talk about LinkedIn as a platform for professionals to network, share knowledge, and build meaningful connections. So what I always encourage people to do is before you go on LinkedIn, you want to set a goal for yourself. So think about, do you want to showcase your expertise, share thought leadership, nurture existing relationships, or build networks beyond your immediate connections? So these are all great things that you can do when you're going on LinkedIn. So before you start to create content, it's really important to set a goal for yourself and be very intentional about what you want to accomplish on the platform. So a quote that I love is content is king. And this is especially true for LinkedIn. Unlike other platforms, you can post all day on Instagram. People are going to see it. People are going to like it. People are going to love it. LinkedIn's a little bit differently. People don't use it every day. So when they do go on, the algorithm is going to show the user what is the most important content to them, what content is going to get them hooked and help them stay on. So because people don't go on LinkedIn every day, it's going to amalgamate what is the most relevant instead of what's the most recent. So content really is key and it's king, and you have to make sure that your content is performing well. Otherwise, LinkedIn is going to drop it down and it's going to bury it in the algorithm and no one's going to see it. And this is why a lot of our customers come to us and they're posting on Twitter or X and they're doing well. They're posting on Facebook and they're doing well. They're posting on Instagram and they're doing well, but they're posting on LinkedIn and they're getting no results. They're getting no likes. They're getting no love. So they come to us and they ask us how they can create content that ultimately helps them achieve their goals. So one of the most important things about a LinkedIn post is ensuring that you have a great hook. So when you post something, typically somebody only sees the first 150 to 200 characters of your post. So that is your hook. It's that top line that is above the see more, that LinkedIn then has somebody click to see your entire post. So what you really want to do is you want to create a compelling moment, a little taste, a sample, so that somebody is intrigued, they're interested, and they want to learn more about what you're talking about. So when we talk about hooks, we talk about that first little bit at the top. And what we encourage people to do is think about what's a relatable question that you can throw out to the group to get them thinking and want them to then drill down and get more information on. What's a truth bomb that you can share, something that's exciting, that's salacious, that's going to make them go, oh my God, I want to know more about what that person is talking about. A great example is you can also tease a success story. People love to celebrate the moment. They love to give you your flowers. So don't be shy on LinkedIn. This isn't where you need to be demure and pretend like, everything is just like, oh, this just happened so naturally. No, people want the authenticity. They want to know the real moment. They want to know about when you're going live and your mic isn't working and you're stressing out and you're having conniption and you're texting your team about what the heck is happening. They want that moment. They want the truth of it all. They don't want you to just pretend like everything is roses and that nothing bad ever happens to you. Of course, speak to your struggles, not in a way that is self-deprecating, but in a way that is relatable and allows people to understand. So, sharing a struggle moment where you're on the struggle bus, sharing a moment that other people have probably struggled with as well, and trying to find what is that 150, 200 characters that I can sum up that is a preview to the rest of my post so that somebody wants to click on it. So here's two examples of posts. One is very generic, excited to. We've seen that 100 times. We've seen that 1,000 times. In the second example, we're really structuring it in a way that is bold, that's exciting, and gets people to click through. So that's one of our tips, to make sure that you have a compelling hook to stop people from scrolling. So if you're also struggling to get noticed, here's one way to fix it. Think about your content type. So LinkedIn lets you post carousels, also known as documents. They let you post articles, newsletters, just text posts, post with pictures, post with videos, polls. All this choice can be a little bit overwhelming, and we often get customers saying, I don't know how to tell my story. I know what I want to say, but I don't know what media pieces I want to go with it. I don't know how to really accentuate the story I'm telling and make sure that I'm telling that story in a way that's authentic, that's both visual and also auditorial. If we're talking about videos, I think I just made up a word, auditorial. I don't know. That's the day we're having today, folks. So what we have here is some great research that really shows the different types of engagement that different posts get. Ultimately, what really does work the best is documents and carousels, also groups of pictures. So when we talk about collages, you can post one picture or you can post multiple pictures together. When you are posting multiple pictures, think about how they look together and the story that they tell when people are clicking through on them, or posting just a single photo. Video is becoming more and more prevalent. People love video. So if you do get on camera, if you have moments where you're filming LinkedIn Lives where you are on webinar. There's some great tools that allow you to cut up those moments into bite-sized 30 second to 90-second videos that can help you really create and help tell your story. So really think about the content type. We love carousels. Carousels let you post about 9 pages of content that folks can swipe through. They can also download it. So for example, when we do our LinkedIn content and engagement books that you can download, this is a great example of an asset that we have that we love. It's a great tool that walks people through how to create incredible content. But instead of just posting a snippet of that or posting a page of it, what you can do is you can actually do a full preview or put the whole document up there. I see this also with people who have done presentations. So think about what is a carousel or a PDF document that I can upload and share and tell a story with. The other is when we talk about photos, something that I get asked a lot is like, I don't have a professional photo shoot. I haven't done a full branding photo shoot. I just have pictures that my partner has taken of me working at my desk. LinkedIn loves that. This isn't Instagram. You don't need to be showing off that body, You don't need to be showing off that visage. You don't need to be face tuning yourself before you're going on here. Today I posted a picture before we went live of myself and Ben just chilling. It was a selfie. I know I'm a millennial. We still love the selfie, but it was very authentic and it was just a quick little photo that I snapped of myself to encourage people to come check out this event. So that's an example of if I was posting that on Instagram, I might have taken the time to take a little bit of the shine out of my forehead. I might have found better lighting. You don't need to go through all that. You don't need to jump through those hoops. You don't need to feel that stress when you are posting on LinkedIn. So if you are using a photo, try to do something authentic. I love photos of people working at their desk. I think it's a little bit staged, maybe a bit corny, but it's the right vibe. So think about where you're working, share your workspace, make sure you clean off your desk first so you can appear a little bit more organized than maybe you are. And then snap that photo of you working at the desk and expand on that in your actual post. Why are we talking about where you're working? Posts that have photos do so much better than just a post on itself. So really think about what is a type of content that I can use to help boost that engagement. Don't just go out there with some plain text. Think about if you want to attach a video, want to attach several photos of yourself, or what we think is best is attaching a carousel. What do we post about though? So that's something that we also get asked all the time. People are like, okay, I want to post about myself on vacation. Don't do that. I want to post about a complicated political view that I have. Don't do that. People want to share authentic stories. Yes, that's amazing. People want to share moments of struggle or moments of learning. That's amazing. So this is what we call our authenticity formula. You want to talk about genuine stories that are relatable and engaging. So you want to share your real experiences, something that you know people will resonate. For example, I'm going to use myself on this chat, on this live event. When I'm talking about throwing live events, everyone always feels stressed out before an event. I'm talking about that, how I overcome it, what I do for myself, creating a post about how I overcome that, what I do when things don't go right to rise above it. People don't like oh, my life is perfect and everything's always working well. Like, that's not relatable. That's not true. That's not a genuine story. So find the right balance between what is a genuine story that is authentic and relatable, that also has a clear call to action towards your business. So a good example of this is for myself as LinkedIn experts, talking about how I create content, the way that we sit down and plan it, the way that we brainstorm it as a group, the laughs, the struggles, the trials and tribulations, the way we test content to see if it goes well. These are all things that people are curious about, but then framing them in a way that's relatable and engaging. So not just going and being like, today me and my team brainstormed how to create content, but talking about like last week we saw these perform well, we want to recreate the wheel, but we want to bring something fresh. I get nervous that when I'm posting about things, they get boring or people don't like it. Talking about the feelings that you have, how you then structure yourself to actually get over that roadblock, get over that struggle, and then ultimately come out on the other end as a success is the perfect formula. So think about what's a genuine story. Is it relatable to people? When we talk about engagement, I would say, then so what? So what is the ultimate outcome that you want to drive people to? If it's commenting below, if it's subscribing to your newsletter, what is the engagement that you're trying to actually drive from this content? Why are you sharing this relatable story? Why are you trying to be genuine, authentic, and have this moment online? So don't just post for the sake of it. Think back to that goal that you're setting for yourself, and then think about how this authenticity formula can help support you in the content that you're creating. So this is where we're going to dive down a little bit more into how to make authenticity your superpower. Share real stories that stick. So talk about the hurdles you've overcome, the wins that you've earned, stories that have heart and lasting impact. For founders, a really good story is, why did you start your business? Why are you passionate? Celebrate milestones, sharing milestones. For me, sometimes that's when we've celebrated our 1 year, or when we celebrated our 3 year, when Christine and I got our first customer that renewed. These are moments that, as somebody who, when starting their business, was like, is anyone going to like me? Is anyone going to buy this from me? Am I ever going to be able to support myself? Those are real stories that stick and have a relatability in them. Create those. Us as well is the moment that you're looking for. You want somebody to say, that's relatable and I can see myself in that post. So whether it's a positive or a struggle, you want somebody to see themselves in the post that you're sharing, and engage like you mean it. So before we post something, I always go out and I do a little bit of engagement out in the world, and I give people the love that I want in return. So I'm not just posting all day being like, please like my stuff, pay attention to me. If I want my content to do well on LinkedIn, then I need to give LinkedIn its moment. So what I usually do is I make sure, if my post is going out at 10:30, I'm coming on at 10, I'm going and looking at what other people are posting about. I'm genuinely engaging in it. I'm commenting. I'm living the truth that I want returned to me. So think about what you want to share, make sure that people can see themselves in it, and go give people the support and the love that you want in return. And this is going to have a huge impact on how your content does. Some ideas that I would throw to you is my first big career mistake, how I learned to lead with confidence. An opportunity I never saw coming. I used to think networking was awkward. Your authenticity creates real conversations, shares, connections, and inspires other people to join in. Again, thinking about what you are trying to achieve and how you can tell that story is really a moment that is going to help drive and change your LinkedIn game. So here's a quick win. I want you to go out and post a story about a career-defining moment, one that has changed you for the better or worst, and wrap it up with a takeaway your audience can apply. Invite them to share their own journey. So an example of this is posting about the first time you had a customer get mad at you about something, and how you dealt with that emotionally, what you learned from it, and what you're now doing in your business to ensure that that mistake doesn't happen again. Or talking about an incredible milestone, why you started your business, where your business is now, and what people can do to help support your business in this moment. Those are some great ideas and some quick wins that you can take away from this. Throw a headshot on there, throw a picture of you working at your desk, and have that authentic moment, and people are going to love it. We are always testing this. This is always changing, but something that folks are curious about, and I stay curious about, is, when do you post on LinkedIn? So first of all, let's stay consistent. So you want to constantly be getting at least one post out a week. It's a good cadence. You can schedule them ahead of time. But why it matters is, when you're constantly posting, you're going to see what content's doing well. You're going to stay top of mind for people. And you're also going to offer up a little bit of content every week that people can get used to seeing. So an easy schedule to keep is post something about your authentic experience, post something that you've learned and that people can take away from, and then post something that's a little bit promotional and how people can buy your service or buy your product from you. So the best times to post are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Drop those weekends. We don't need to be posting on Sunday or Saturday unless there's a specific cause or reason that you're posting on those days. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in the middle of the week, also thinking about when people are going on LinkedIn. They're either going on their lunch break, they're going on at the end of their day, when they're wrapping up, they're preparing to leave the office, or maybe they're sitting on the train home. So by getting your content out between 10 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in the morning, or between 12 and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the afternoon, these are post golden hours. What also is great about setting a schedule like this is you and your team can get used to knowing that, like for us, Wednesdays at 10:30, our content's going live. So our team is online, engaging, liking, making sure that the algorithm starts to see that there is value in this content. So how to do this without burning out is start with setting a reasonable goal for yourself. The optimal post is at least once a week. Try to get yourself up to 2 to 3 posts a week. You want to make sure that you are planning out this content. We like to plan out our content in monthly schedules. You can check out our content planner, which we have, which is a great tool that allows you to understand and build out your content pillars, build out your strategy, and then also plan your content, whether you want to plan a month worth of content or 3 months worth of content like we do. We really encourage you to plan that content and then get your work scheduled. So you can do this really, really stress-free. You can go in and you can spend an hour and you can schedule your content for a month and make sure that it's always scheduled within those windows that you like. and then it's all set up and you can set it. Don't forget it, because what you then want to do is make sure that you're coming on before that content is scheduled to go out and you're getting your positive engagement out to other people. And then once your content is shared, I always say send it to a friend, send it to a coworker, try to get those first couple likes. Engage with it from your company page, or if the post is going out from your company page, engage with it from your personal account. If you're not going to like your own content, why do you expect somebody else to? So really leverage on LinkedIn for small businesses. It lets you have a company page, it lets you have a personal page. Make sure that you are creating a conversation between those two, and let the data do the work. Use LinkedIn analytics to understand, okay, this post did well. Why do we think it did well? Or this post didn't do well. Okay, what are we going to change up? So even though we're planning our content 3 months ahead of time, we're constantly making small tweaks. We're constantly updating based off what we see is working and what we're seeing is not working. And something that I will say is, just because something worked once doesn't mean you need to replicate it 100 times. So this is a mistake that we see where somebody's like, okay, I struck gold. Now all my content needs to follow this format. Learn what you can from content that succeeds. Apply it across the board, but always be looking at the analytics and making those small updates, making those small changes. Don't think just because something worked once that it has to be your formula that you use 100% of the time. So check out our free content planner. It is a great tool. And also, if you get stuck on it, connect with me and we will spend 30 minutes free giving you a little bit of LinkedIn consulting, talking to you about how you can plan your content and what you can do to succeed, whether you decide you want to work with designACE or not. So what I encourage you to do is set aside 20 minutes to brainstorm and draft 3 posts for the week. Pre-schedule them so that you maintain that consistency, and think about, instead of doing that last minute scramble of how I'm going to get out and make my posts, then you can use that time to actually make your post valuable. So some ways that we like to make posts valuable: engaging with them, forward an article to somebody that you're trying to spark a connection with, forward a video that you're using in somebody that you're trying to set up a sales call with, forward a newsletter to somebody that isn't subscribed and say, hey, this is our latest edition. I just thought you might enjoy our newsletter. If you do, you can subscribe. So really go from having passive content to active content. And you can do that by making sure that you have a nice schedule set, that you have content ready to go. And then you don't have to be thinking about, what am I going to post this week? You could be thinking about, how am I going to use the post that I have this week to succeed and accomplish my goals? So we're very proud. We work with a lot of small businesses. It's a great quote that I love to share from one of our customers that talk about just what we're able to do for small businesses. We come in, we do a 3-month content plan for you. We schedule all that content for you. We create visuals, we create videos, we create assets that you will be able to use for life. But then what we really feel most proud of is, it's not just the content that's fabulous and amazing, which it is, but we're then teaching people how to leverage that content to accomplish their goals. So for example, this customer talks about how we go the extra mile by helping our sales team optimize their profile and offering tips on empowering them to how to use LinkedIn more effectively. So don't get stuck with just thinking that LinkedIn is a tool just to post content. It's a tool for you to connect with your community, to get more sales, and ultimately thrive and be the thought leader that you are. So if you're interested in learning more about designACE, please set up time with me. I'm happy to do a free consultation, talk to you about what your LinkedIn is doing right, where you can polish and shine a little bit brighter. And we will offer you a free scorecard where we will rate your engagement score, tell you where that shine is happening, help you with a little bit of polish. And what I like to ensure people know is that you are walking away from these. It's not just a sales call. You're walking away with tools and tips that you can accomplish on your own, that you don't need to hire us to do. Of course, if you do want to hire us, the results speak for themselves. We help our customer get 10x the engagement of pages and companies that have much larger followings than they do. We've helped many of our accounts go from having a couple hundred followers to hitting that much desired 1,000 follower count. What's really very important here is these are organic followers. We're not paying for ads. We've had customers that are spending thousands of dollars on ads and then have gone to working with designACE. And we really help them find their authentic connections without breaking the bank. So I love the opportunity to help small businesses. So if you are a small business, if you are a CEO, if you are a founder, and you're looking to tell your story in a more authentic way, please reach out to me. We have an amazing content planner that you can get. This content planner is the second of 4 So you can check out the one that we put out last month. This content planner is all about how to create great content. We have great tools in there. We have some great assets. We have great free resources. So please download it, check it out, and let me know what you think. Thank you so much. I'm Andrew from designACE. If we're able to help you tailor your LinkedIn, please reach out. We'll help you create a unified brand. We'll help you optimize that LinkedIn and create community. I just love to help small businesses, so I'm here in your corner.